So good evening everyone, you're very welcome along to the VRA non-championship race here, GTE at Sebring. We're in qualifying at the moment. Nearly done actually, almost halfway through. We've got a little bit more of an overlay working here today, so hopefully you'll have a better experience of the viewing. Currently, Davey Yamamoto quickest, Sergey Grabin behind him, Pat Masterson, Colin Murphy, Ronan Haydeman and Tony Stack are the people who have set lap 156.02, is about half a second between them at the moment. But I have to apologize if you see the mouse cursor at the bottom moving around. Nothing I can do about that, but we'll make do with what we have. So we're just looking at Connor Murphy at the moment as he heads around the track. This is a nice onboard view for you. He's currently heading up towards turn 7. This is kind of around the hairpin bend almost right here. The Ferrari, of course, currently sitting P4. We had a great race last week, so hopefully we can have another great one this week. Again, fantastic having another fantastic race. So halfway through qualifying, as I said, Davey Yamamoto quickest, Sergey Grabin P2 in the Porsche, and Pat Masterson in the BMW is third. So we have all three manufacturers represented. Colin Bayes pops up to the top on a 155.65 in the Ferrari, and Jordan Kelly pops into P3 there, 156.30. So quite close to getting about 7/10 of a second between everybody. And we'll see if that translates into the race again. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses. I hope you're all sitting comfortably at home, get a cup of tea, get yourself comfortable, and we'll see how the race progresses. So 6 minutes of qualifying gone. Let's have a look at, see who we can have a look at. Niall Quinn right there. He is currently just coming down to kind of on the back straight here. This will be where he is heading up towards turn number, I believe that's turn 17. I'm just having to look at track just up here. This is the infamous last corner that goes underneath the bridge, and we saw some severe controversy here. If you did watch the iRacing 12 Hours of Sebring, right around this area is where there was a huge, well, I wouldn't call it huge, but there was an incident involving two cars that ended up deciding the race, that hit each other going into the final lap, and there was a big controversy about it, but we were just saying there, Niall Quinn, top of the times, 155.1. Brian McManus pops it into P4, 156.2. So there is about half a second separating P1 and P2, and again about 4/10 back to Davey Yamamoto, but it's BMW at the top, Ferrari P2 and Ferrari P3. All going well so far. Let's see if we can grab a little bit of an onboard here if possible, so we can get into the cockpit. We're on board with Niall Quinn in the BMW right now. He is heading towards the hairpin at turn 7, so underneath this bridge here. Difficult to call it a hairpin. It is and it isn't. It doesn't quite become a hairpin. It kind of opens up into a 90th degree right-hander, but that is what it is on the track map, through Fangio and then through turn 9 here, down towards Cunningham, which is again a 90 degree right-hander. So you'll get on the brakes, get her turned in through Collier, which is turn 11, through turn 12, then which is a little kink, it is registered though, and then into Tower, which is turn 13. Again, another 90 degree right-hander. Got to carry as much speed as you can now, because it's a little sideways there. And down towards Bishop he will come, which is turn 14. Famous then, two corners, Le Mans and Sunset Bend, which is turn 16 and 17. We're getting there very shortly. He's coming up towards Le Mans right now. This is where the incident happened at the 12 Hours of Sebring, right here. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend you go and watch it. It was a fantastic event. So down this long back straight then, towards Sunset Bend. Heading into the sunset is Niall Quinn. Get on the brakes and carry the speed because it is a spectacular corner when you get it right. Throws it in. Never-ending corner, keeps going all the way through until you get to the start-finish right here across the line. And that was, I think, a rather tame lap from Niall Quinn there. It is nice to have an idea of the track that we are going around. So I believe we have about 14 drivers represented here. But it is currently still Niall Quinn from Colin Bayes and David Yamamoto. And we're almost at the end of qualifying now. We'll just have a look at Colin Basie. He's about to finish his lap right here in the Ferrari. Let's see if he can improve on his time. But it looks like he's gone purple in one of the micro sectors there. He comes across the line, doesn't improve. He stays where he is. Pat Masterson, I believe, is going to be the next car when he comes into the pit lane. Dave Yamamoto, we will have a look at as he went again a little bit quicker in one of the micro sectors there. He's in the Ferrari, coming through the last corner, runs it out really wide there, trying to get as much traction as he possibly can, runs across the line. That's not going to be an improvement, and he won't be too pleased with that one. Niall Quinn, as you can see, is on a better lap, but it looks at things. He is quicker through one of the sectors. He goes purple in one of the mini sectors, and he is on a personal best. Connor Murphy comes across the line there. Sergey Graban, he is not going to improve. As you can see, if you are wondering what the colours mean, yellow for slower, green for personal best, and purple for the fastest of anybody. Niall Quinn again went purple in that sector, and we will see how he gets on in the rest of his lap. Coming up through turn 16 now, and down towards Sunset Bend. Purple and purple. This is going to be a quicker lap. We will see how he gets on down towards Sunset Bend. Spectacular corner here at Sebring. How is he getting on? Coming up towards Sunset Bend now, throwing the car in close to the barrier. Round he goes. It keeps on going, never ending. Still on the power, still winding the steering lock on. Gets to the last corner. Is Niall Quinn going to go even faster than he already has? It's 155.1 he has to beat. He comes across the line and he doesn't beat it. He didn't quite get it in those last sectors there, but he is still on provisional pole. Can David Yamamoto beat him? He is on the lap, but looks like he has backed out of it at the moment. Personal best, and there's a couple of personal bests in there, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to beat Colin Bays. He has about a second adrift. He's about a second adrift from Colin Bays there. Actually, no, he's about 4/10 of a second. Sorry, he was slower there by a second on that last lap there. But that, I believe, that is going to be the end of qualifying. We're going to just wait for David to make his way around. We just have Martin Moore and Tony Stack still to cross the line here. We'll see if anybody can improve their time. We'll look at Yamamoto here through the last corner. And can he improve on his time? I don't think he's going to be able to. He's going to come across the line. And 156.8, it is slower than he did. Martin Moore in the Ferrari, can he improve his position? And looks like no, he can't. Does not improve. What about Tony Stack? Don't think he did either. So that is it for qualifying. Niall Quinn, P1. Colin Bays, P2. David Yamamoto is P3. And then Brian McManus slots into P4. Sergey Graban in the Porsche slots in amongst all those guys in P5. Jordan Kelly, P6. Conor Murphy, P7. Pat Masterson, P8. Petkevicius in P9. And Marty Moore in P10. And we have Peter McCann, Tony Stack, and Ron Hedeman. So we're going to be having some fun tonight by the looks of things. Should be some interesting midfield battles. Going into this, I would give the advantage to Niall Quinn, just judging off the previous races. He's pulled off some amazing performances. Of course, we had Graham Carroll with us last week and went and won the race on his first outing in VRA. It's great to have him here, but we're back to the old regulars here in VRA. So we're almost ready to go. As I said, 1 minute to go. Niall Quinn, Colin Bays, as I said, then David Yamamoto, Brian McManus, Sergey Graban, Jordan Kelly, Conor Murphy, Pat Masterson, Linus Petkevicius in P9, Martin Moore, Peter McCann, Tony Stack, Ronan Haderman, and Niall Maher. So we're going to have not too long to go now. And we'll see how the guys get on. So you get to see just above here the view of the grid from the definitely non-sponsored blimp that floats above the circuit here. Just having a look down on the grid there. Grid of 14 cars tonight. And great to have them all with us today. So we'll be getting going very shortly indeed. I hope you're settled in for a fantastic race, I predict. So we're going to be getting underway very, very shortly indeed. Have the pace car get us underway. And we're going to be away for the start of VRA GTE live from Sebring. And we are away. Pace car leaves. Niall Quinn leads the way with Colin Bays alongside him. In P3 is David Yamamoto. And then we have Brian McManus behind them, Sergey Grabin in P5, Jordan Kelly in P6, Connor Murphy behind him in P7. And we have Pat Masterson and Petkavicius in P9, and then Martin Moore in P10. Peter McCann, Tony Stack, Ronan Haderman, and Niall Maher round out the grid here today. We will be keeping an eye. Niall Quinn get himself away from Colin Bays off of the start. It's a 2x2 like Noah's Ark. And see who gets away. Niall Quinn will control the pace. Just be careful not to hit each other on the pace lap, as has so often happened in many races over the years that I have done. In F1, it would normally disqualify you for hitting anybody on the pace lap. But I think here that the punishment is just having damage on your car, which you obviously don't want to have. So great field of 14 cars, great shot of everybody there, and fantastic. So BMW, Ferrari, BMW, Porsche. No, Ferrari, BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, BMW, Ferrari, and Ferrari down the back. So, only 2 Porsches here with us today. Can they, spring surprise, can they finally get the Porsches on top? It'll be interesting to see. We're coming around the back half of the circuit now. It's a long lap around Sebring. It's just under 2 minutes with these cars. And I believe the lap record was set by one of the Toyotas, Le Mans Toyotas, the number 7, set this year actually. So to give you an idea, that car set a 141.8. The quickest lap we had just there was a 155. So the LMP ones are ridiculously fast, especially the Toyota, number 7 Toyota. So just coming up toward the last sequence of corners now, turn 16 and turn 17. These will be the ones that you'll be very familiar with if you have watched or raced Sebring before. And we'll probably see plenty of action into Sunset Bend, especially into turn 1. Turn 1 is going to be very tricky, especially on this lap 1, because it opens up very, very wide. And as per usual, times 17 instant limit. If you run off the track, for example, 17 times, you will be disqualified from the race. Or if you cause an accident involving many others, you will be also disqualified. So the drivers have got to be careful. They can't be going outside the white lines. But this is a type of circuit that they will punish you if you run out wide at all. There's plenty of grass runoff, but that's definitely not a surface that you want to be on to. So we're about to round Sunset Bend here, and we're about to get these guys released and going for the VRA GTE series here at Sebring. You can see the pace car peeling off to the right hand side, and we'll be getting underway with Niall Quinn leading Colin Bays. Just here onto the Apex pace car will peel in now, and we will be underway very, very shortly. Get set. Niall Quinn and Colin Bays, away we go for VRA GTE at Sebring. Niall Quinn gets an amazing start. Brian Yamamoto already pressuring Colin Bays into turn 1 here. Side, can he get himself placed nicely up the inside? David Yamamoto, Colin Bays hanging it around the outside into turn 1. Very nicely done from those two guys, still side by side here as we run down. Oh, there's a big accident in the background. One of the Porsches around. There's a BMW involved. That's a big one. Let's have a look back and see if we can catch who that was. It's Martin Moore. No, Mara's involved. That's a multi-car pileup. That's a huge accident in the background there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved in that one. Big one there into turn 1. We said it could happen in turn 1, and it has, and the field has virtually split in half now after that accident. Pat Masterson at the head of that field at the other end, but Niall Quinn still leads Colin Bays from David Yamamoto. Nobody has made up any positions apart from Petkevicius in P6 here. He's come up in P9, so he's done a good job getting himself up there. We can just see if we can see what happened on that lap. I'm just having a look back on the stream to my left hand side, and we will see if we can catch what happened in the background. But it just looked like just everybody piling into one corner, just no room for anybody to go. 7 car pile up in turn 1. Not what we want to see, but it has happened now. You can see the split already starting to happen. Niall Quinn and Colin Bays starting to split away from David Yamamoto and Brian McManus behind. Just having a look back on the stream now, and I will see if I can catch any sort of hint as to what happened. You can see Colin Bays and Niall Quinn going at it there. Now, Colin Bays making a mistake there on the exit. Let's have a look further down. This is the battle behind. As you can see, this is Pat Masterson is going away from this train, which virtually was everybody who was in that turn 1 accident. You can see here, you can just see a little bit of battle going on here between Ronan Haderman and Tony Stack, who's trying to make a move on in here. Just having a look back in the stream. Can't quite see what happened there, just caught the end of it. But you can just see Tony Stack going through. Ronan Haderman dropping back here as he goes neck and neck with Niall Maher, who's trying to look on the inside of Sunset Bend. Going to be difficult. He's going to try and look at Tony Stack as well. So he goes past 1. Can he get past 2? Maybe on the way towards turn 1. Very wide there. Let's see if he can get himself back. One of the Porsches off in the background as well. Didn't quite see who that was, but we have somebody in the pit lane there. Ronan Haderman is into the pit lane, so obviously picked up damage from that turn 1 incident. And just having a look, Brian McManus through past David Yamamoto for P3. So what has happened to Yamamoto? Has he had a mistake somewhere? Because Brian McManus has made his way through. And can maybe Sergei Grabin capitalise on this? I'll have a look at the background as well. Conor Murphy getting himself involved with Petkovic looking up the inside there. Nice move from Conor Murphy. You can make this one stick side by side through the S's here. Now it'll be on the inside for this next sequence of corners. Having a look there. On the outside, actually, we'll switch to. Linus has the inside line. May switch to for the outside for this next corner. He's having a look at the inside. Is Conor Murphy. Should get the move done there, and does. He moves into P6. Nice move from him there. Let's see if Jordan Kelly can also capitalise on everything that is happening in front of him here. Nice job from Colin Murphy, and up ahead as well. Sergey having a look on Yamamoto up ahead. He made a little mistake there, ran out wide. You can just see the dust being kicked up, and you can see as well on the track in that bottom right hand corner, Niall Quinn and Colin Bays breaking away from this group here. So a clear divide after that turn 1 instance. And you see Ronan Haderman has dropped all the way to the back after that. And you see again a mistake from Linas there. And let's see, can Jordan Kelly capitalise? He's going to have to go to the outside of Sunset Bend. This will be brave. There's plenty of room on the outside to make it work if he wants to. But he is side by side with Linus here. Looking on the outside line into Sunset Bend. Just ran out of room there. And you can see demolishes a ton of cones there. There's no room for him to go. He has to stick behind for now. You can see further up ahead, you can just see as well, it seems to be a move happening there. Conor Murphy had to think about it, but now, once again, Jordan Kelly has a look on the inside of turn 1 versus Linas here, up the inside. Can he make it stick? Linas leaves the space for him. Now, Conor Murphy with the drive out of this corner here, running down towards turn 4 here, up the inside. Can he make it work? Still neck and neck between the Ferrari and the BMW. So little room there. And now Linas slips it back up the inside, still side by side here. Brilliant battle with Conor Murphy. Jordan Kelly, comes out on top there and gets ahead with Kelsius there. Awesome battle there. Nice job, guys. Kept it clean and kept it between the bales. There's a nice job, and they will hold on to that. So let's see, Sergey Grabin and Conor Murphy going at it here. And you can see, I believe that actually Conor Murphy did get ahead of Sergey. That is what I saw up ahead. And you can just see the results of that. Just, you can see on that last lap, Niall Quinn nearly 7/10 of a second quicker than Colin Bays behind him. So he's doing a really good job here. So you can just see Sergey getting right up ahead. And you can just see up ahead as well, it looks like David Yamamoto trying to come back past Brian McManus, excuse me. Just lost my place there. So he is there having a look again. He did lose the place to McManus after a mistake, we think. But he is keeping himself ahead. You can see Niall Quinn has broken away from Colin Bays, and he's ahead by nearly 6 seconds. So he's doing a really good job of keeping himself there. You can see a couple of battles happening in the background as well. And we'll see if we can catch any of the battles down the end as well. So there's plenty of action going on across the track. And now you can see David Yamamoto trying to think about a move past Brian McManus, trying to get the run on him here. You keep an eye on Sergey Grabin as well, thinking about a move on Conor Murphy. No sign of that just yet. They hold on. You see Sergey showing himself in the mirrors, making himself known. So he's done a good job. And you just see, looks like there's a problem for a car down the end. Emily Muller, I think, had a bit of an off there. You see Yamamoto putting the pressure on McManus, looking to force an error here. Doing a good job so far. Just see if we can catch something here. Niall Maher and Pat Masters having a real tussle here. Pat Masters slipping back up the inside of turn 1 as Niall tried to go around the outside of turn 1. So we'll keep an eye on this little tasty battle. This is for P11, I think it is. You can just see behind him is Peter McCann, trying to get himself involved as well in the Porsche. Up ahead is Martin Moore in P10. So this is a battle for 10th position overall. We won't forget about the battle that is happening up front as well. Just keep an eye on the guys down the back, see if they can provide some excellent action here. And just seeing, there's been a problem for somebody. That looks like an off for Linus there. Seems to have had an off. Let's drop back to P8. Unless my timing screen is deceiving me. No changes up here just yet. Brian McManus still ahead of David Yamamoto. Connor Murphy with Sergey Grabin chasing him down. Jordan Kelly, who is slowly catching up to these guys. And then that's behind them in P8. Tony Stack in P9. Marty Moore in P10. Pat Masterson, Niall Maher, Peter McCann, Damien McMullen, and Ronan Haydeman still running around at the back. It's nearly 8 minutes gone of this race so far. There's a very clear divide in the field. Niall Quinn leads from Colin Bays by nearly 6 seconds at this rate. And doing an excellent job. As you can see, the times very, very close up front. You can see, keep an eye on this battle as well. This battle down the back, these are all the guys that were involved in the turn 1 accident. And they're having a real tussle down here. Martin Moore, Pat Marston and Niall Maher battling out as well. Peter McCann's lashed onto the back of that as well. So there's definitely going to be a move. And looking like he got a better drive out of that corner there. Let's see if we can maybe grab him. There he is. Peter McCann having a look on Niall Maher. Can he slip to the inside? Shows himself in the mirrors. And again, Niall thinking about a move on Pat Masterson there. But he goes very wide. And Peter McCann, can he slip it up the inside there? He's alongside Niall now as they run down towards turn number 2 here. Peter McCann on the inside line. Can he pick up the position here? He's on the inside. Niall is still sticking his nose in there. But it looks like McCann has managed to pull that one off. Niall tries to hang it around the outside there. Brave stuff from him. Peter McCann is ahead after that battle. Let's see if Niall will come back at him here. It looks like Peter's got that solidified. You can see him going defensive down towards turn 7. Niall on the outside line, goes a bit later on the brakes than Peter. He's trying to hang it around the outside there, goes a bit wide. Peter gets the better drive, so he should hold on to that one for now. And holds on indeed for now. Let's go back up to our battle up here. Looks like Brian McManus has managed to build a small gap over David Yamamoto. And again, the same goes for Conor Murphy and Sergey Grabin. Sergey is there into the background. Jordan Kelly and Linus still kind of having a little battle there. Tony Stack kind of in no man's land here. Matthew Moore has built a gap over Pat Masterson and Peter McCann and Niall Maher. So these guys are kind of in a battle of their own here. Just looking again, looks like Jordan Kelly's made a mistake. He's run wide, just saw the position swap there. And you can see Linus has made his way back into P7 where he was. Let's see if Jordan maybe can back him. Just see Brian McManus going a little bit quicker than Colin Bays that time, but them guys are quite a ways behind the lead battle here. 10 minutes gone of this race, so plenty to go. We're going to have pit stops, of course. So plenty of action still to come in this VRA GTE series around Sebring. So Niall Quinn, how is he getting on up front? He has built a gap. You just see Colin Bays in the background. About a 4-second gap separating them at the moment. Very similar times, only a couple of tenths separating them. But currently they are the only guys lapping within the 55s here. The rest of the guys in the 56 and 57s. Partly probably down to battles and stuff like that. Brian McManus now, you can see David Yamamoto has now caught back up to him. I think we're going to see a real scrap between these two. You might get Conor Murphy and Sergey Grabin involved as well. These guys start to battle hard. So these guys now coming down towards turn 16. Le Mans. Holding on to his position for now. Just see Conor Murphy and Sergey Grabin in the background. Linus and Jordan Kelly are there as well. We might have to go back as well to see this tussle here as well. We'll keep an eye on this one too. Oh, Pat Masterson has made a mistake, went a little bit wide there, lost it. And looks like Niall Maher will pick up that position again. He does indeed, so he goes through to P12. Just a mistake on that. Got a little bit too early on the throttle there. He seemed to have lost it. Peter McCann picking up now to P11 in this race. Back to the front once again. Just see that last lap for Niall Quinn on 155.7. Colin Bayes, a bad lap from him that time, 157.5. Brian McManus was quicker than him. Yamamoto quicker as well. So Yamamoto is the quickest out of these guys here. But just can't seem to find a way past this BMW. And what has happened to Conor Murphy? We didn't quite see what happened to him, but he has dropped back. Didn't see what happened to him, but he has run wide and allowed Sergei Grabin through to P5. And now Sergei is closing up to the back of David Yamamoto and Brian McManus. It looks like he had the pace all along. We'll see if he can glue himself to the back of this train here. Doing a good job so far. You can just see down the back as well. You can see Damien McMullen and Ronan Haderman. They're on the back straight now at the bottom of your screens. They're going to be having a battle of their own there and miles away from everybody else. So they may as well have a little tussle while they're at it. And just see the gap between Brian and David is currently about a second. See there, less than a second, 6/10 of a second. The gap lies at now. No DRS, of course, in these cars at all. It's all slipstream overtaking in this. You just saw that Ron Haderman made his way past Damien McMullen down the back. So let's see if there's a swap position between these two. These guys are exchanging lap times right here. See if David can make the move past him here. And Colin Bayes looks like he is dropping back into the clutches of these guys. We'll keep an eye on the lap times. We will see who is quick from this level. I just had a screen freeze on my end, so hopefully that gets back and running. There we go. So, didn't quite get the lap times there. You can just see Colin Bayes coming across the line here. He has done 55.8 for Quinn, so 56.9. Brian McManus, what does he do? He does a 56.7 and Yamamoto a 56.7 as well, so they're almost identical on the lap times. But these guys are indeed, little by little, catching Colin Bayes. But Niall Quinn completely commanding out front with a commanding drive out front, as I said. Only guy still within the 155 range of lap times. We're keeping an eye on this battle. Let's see if we can get... Just see, this is the view of Damien Yamamoto's car. This is exactly what he is seeing at the moment. He's just seeing the back of that BMW. You can see it closes up in the braking zone here. But that BMW just has the grunt down the straights to keep itself ahead. So getting nice and close in this nice tight and twisty section, which suits the Ferrari a lot. But down the back straight, this is going to struggle to keep up. So he thinks about a move. You can just see going throwing it into that corner. Fantastic overhead view here of the track. Just see we are transitioning into a night period here. The headlights have come on and we are going to be finishing in low light by the looks of things, so everything is looking good at the moment. So this is again the view from Brian Yamamoto's car as he chases after Brian McManus. Doing a good job so far. But again, unable to find a way past that big BMW M8 GTE. Doing his very best, but to no avail at the moment. I think his opportunity will definitely come. Depends on the pit stops and the rate that things are going. Quinn drops into the 56th there as the tyre wear starts to take effect now. We're nearly 16 minutes into this race. We'll see a 56.8 for Colin Bayes. How are these guys doing behind? Brian McManus 56.7, 56.8, 56.8. They're all identical lap times. Nobody is gaining any ground. However, Linas 56.9 behind personal best as well, so he's getting all the pace of these guys. So everybody is setting identical lap times between everybody. So nobody is catching each other, nobody is losing time to anybody, apart from Niall Quinn, who is gaining nearly a second a lap over Colin Bayes behind them. Just controlling everything at the moment. And not doing a bad job whatsoever. So, Brian trying to keep David behind him here. You can just see David getting closer than he has over the past couple of laps. Closing up in the braking zone, nice and close this time. So let's see if he can capitalize. Rides the curb a little bit there. That might compromise his exit here. And that BMW, of course, will use that turbocharged engine to great effect. And best to keep himself ahead. So currently, even though we had a 7-car pile-up in turn 1, everybody, fair play to everybody, is still running in this race. So whatever has happened, has happened. Didn't look like they picked up too much damage overall. And they have managed to keep themselves going in this race. So good job to everybody there. As you can see, David Yamamoto still latched onto the back of that BMW, not giving it any room. If Brian makes any sort of mistake, David will pick up the pieces. And now lap times start to drop away a little bit. Into the 56s across the board here. 56.2 for Bays, picks up the pace a little there. 56.7, 56.7, 56.7. How close are they? All within 100th of a second there. Imagine if that was qualifying. Oh, mistake from David Yamamoto that runs off the track into the grass. Manages to keep himself going though. But there will be dirt on the tyres. He will have a loss in grip there. But the 3, 4, and 5 all within the same 10th of a second of lap time there. 100 separating them. A couple of thousands between Grabban and McManus there. And just about 100 separating Yamamoto and McManus there. So brilliant stuff. Almost identical. So on my time history, I only get it up to the 100th of a second there. So it's a 156.74, 156.75, 156.75. So the guys are doing an awesome job here. Let's keep an eye on the stuff down the back too. This is Tony Stack here. Let's have a look further down if we can. There's Peter McCann running around. Niall Maher seems to have dropped back a little bit. Must have had an off somewhere. Pat Masterson is into the pits here. You can just see that will be Roland Haderman, who was involved in that turn 1 incident going through. Up to P13 here. So, Niall Quinn at the front, we haven't seen much of him because he drove away from everybody else, but he is still out in front. You can just see Colin Bays at the other end of the straight there. And, yeah, he is on his way there. You can just see Brian McManus, P3. David Yamamoto, P4. Sergey Grabin in the middle, these guys in P5. Linus and Jordan. And then you have a gap back to Tony Stack. What has happened to Tony Stack, actually? Dropped off my timing screen momentarily, but he seems to have got going. Whatever happened to him, if anything did happen to him, that is. Just probably blinking by the looks of things. That just looks to be the issue there. So all the times now within the 57. So now tyre wear is really starting to play a factor for these guys. Sergey Grabin much quicker than David Yamamoto that lap. So he is again trying to get himself closed up to this battle. You just see Conor Murphy is into the pits as well for his stop. We're almost halfway through this race now. 20 minutes gone. 45 minutes of a race we have in total. And now Conor Murphy on his way out of the pit lane. You see Tony Stack will get ahead of him. He's going to come out at the back of this train actually. And he's going to get so just slotted in into some clean air. Get out in front of Peter McCann, I think is in P11 there. He does slot out in front of those guys. So this is the battle we've got to keep an eye on. Brian McManus and David Yamamoto, and also Sergey Grabin, who is still very much there to pick up the pieces should anything go wrong. Continuing on. So still Niall Quinn from Colin Bays, Brian McManus, David Yamamoto, Sergey Grabin, Linus Petkevicius. I need to learn how to say that name right. Petkevicius, I think that's how you say it. Jordan Kelly, Martin Moore, Conor Murphy, Peter McCann, Niall Maher, and Tony Stack, who I think is out of this race. By the looks of it, yeah, he is indeed. So that's by the looks of it, our first retirement from this race is actually going to be Tony Stack. Whatever happened to him. But Niall Quinn still out front here. Unless my cameras have messed up on me. Let's see if we can grab Tony Stack here. Yeah, oh, there he is. We actually has spun as soon as I mentioned him. He has indeed spun. Gets going again, but that's unfortunate for him. He's now dropping a ways back. Now David Yamamoto definitely a touch quicker than Brian McManus that lap. Pulling away from Sergey Grabin again. He's literally just exchanging lap times now. So these guys continuing to battle. They haven't lost sight of each other all race. And bad job from everybody at all. Only your time for this race, as I said, is actually nobody, because Tony Stack has managed to get going again. So everybody's still running in this race. Peter McCann is in for his pit stop, as you can see. Into the pits he comes. And we're probably going to see the pit stops for the leaders quite shortly. And we'll see if anybody can capitalise on each other. I think the real battle in the pit stop is going to be between these guys right here. Brian McManus, David Yamamoto and Sergey Grabin. If anybody has a bad pit stops, they are going to lose a lot of time, and it's going to cost them dearly in this race. So continuing on, David Yamamoto, as you can see, as I've said for the past while, he's closed up in the tight and twisty sections, but that being to pull away down the straight unless he can pull off something here. Peter McCann on his way once again in P11. Has anybody of the leaders come in? Niall Quinn has kept going. David Yamamoto much closer this time through Sunset Bend. You can see him running to the outside line, trying to get a cutback line. Well, Brian McManus doing well to defend. That gets a little bit sideways. Oh, that was very close to the wall from David Yamamoto there. Almost ended up into the wall to give it a love tap, I think he did. That was very, very close. Indeed, no scratches on the car. You can just see how close these guys get to the barrier, actually, through turn one. With David Yamamoto, that was his best chance so far. Well, extremely close to the barrier that time. Brian McManus getting sideways, and Yamamoto brushing the wall on the edge of the Sunset Bend. He has kept himself going. Both of them are still very much intact and still going strong here. Let's see, actually, let's go to Brian McManus and see him. This is his, so you can get a view back. There is the ever-present headlights of David Yamamoto chasing after him relentlessly. That's all he can see in his mirrors at the moment. All he's been able to see for the past 15 minutes of this race, nearly all this race actually. You can just see how much he closes up in the braking zone there. You can see this BMW stretch its legs down the main straight. There's a Ferrari that is much better through this section than most cars here. So he's going to continue to battle. Let's actually go back if we can have a look at this. This is Roman Henderson and Peter McCann quite close together. And it looks like Peter McCann has just been into the pits. Roman Henderson trying to recover himself from that lap 1 incident. And he's doing a good job to get himself back here. Now look how close David Yamamoto is this time. Running towards Sunset Bend. He's flashing his lights at Brian McManus as they run down the street. That's actually Brian McManus flashing his lights here. Looking to the inside is David Yamamoto trying to think about a move. Is that maybe Brian indicating that he's coming into the pit lane? Let's have a look here. He was flashing his lights quite vigorously there. He's keeping to the inside line this time. Is he coming in? No, he isn't. So I'm not sure why he was flashing his lights there, but now David Yamamoto is all over the back of him as they run towards turn 1 here. Is there going to be any sort of moves between these guys? David has just been slightly quicker each lap. There's a wide moment from Brian McManus. Up the inside goes David Yamamoto. Was it that easy? Brian McManus is going to be able to come back at him. Shuts the door, does David Yamamoto, and he is ahead at this point. Can Sergey Grabin now capitalise on these guys battling and get himself up into P4 potentially if Brian makes a mistake? So, good move from David Yamamoto to shut the door firmly in Brian McManus' face. And Jordan Kelly on his way to the pit lane now as well. But now these guys have really closed up. Sergey has managed to close up, but you can see he ran wide there. But this battle is definitely not over because Brian and David are so evenly matched on pace that I can see these guys swapping positions once again. Just see Niall Maher is in at the pit lane as well. Jordan Kelly is in, as I said, so a lot of the guys pitting now. None of the leaders have come in just yet. Niall Quinn is currently going through turn 16. He's about to lap the guys down the back. And this battle rages on. Brian McManus versus David Yamamoto. Excellent battle we're seeing. And let's see if Brian can maybe come back at him. He's got the grunt from the M8 to keep himself ahead. And then he's thinking about coming back at David. But this is definitely going to come down to the pit stops. If they both win at the same time, either of them could capitalise on each other's mistakes. In comes Niall Quinn from the lead of this race. I'm sure Colin Bays is probably going to follow him in. And indeed he does. He's into the pit lane. Now what do these guys do? I'm sure we're going to see them in, but there is going to be a real battle in the pit lane here between Davey Yamamoto and Brian McManus. Brian McManus is trying to get the undercut. In he comes. Sergey follows him. So Davey Yamamoto is going to take the lead of this race momentarily. And he's going to try and make the overcut work on Brian McManus. So let's see if he can make that work. Everybody is in from the top 6 apart from this man out from Davey Yamamoto. So if we can get back, there is Niall Maher. Let's see, where is Brian McManus? There is Colin Bays on his way out. And Niall Quinn is already circulating. Very quick stop as per usual from him. He's the tyre saver of the lot. He capitalises, takes a quick stop for fuel, and that's it. Some small off for Davey Yamamoto there. Brian McManus is on his way. Circuit grabbing, no changes in the positions between those guys. Virtually identical gap between them there. But Davey Yamamoto has got to put in a great lap here to keep himself in front of Brian McManus. Intriguing battle in the pit lane we're going to be witnessing here, I think. So David is currently about to go through turn 13. He's on the back of the circuit now. So we will keep an eye on him. We will, of course, give Niall Quinn the lead of the race back, because he is not far behind at all. So about to come through Le Mans. There is he going through Le Mans. And you can just see Martin Moore is in, as well as Tony Stack, as they are in the pit lane now. But Davey Yamamoto has got to be coming in now. He's surely got to be coming in. He's got to try and make the overcut work on Brian McManus. Brian McManus at the moment is about 35 seconds behind him. In comes Davey Yamamoto. Is this going to be a quick stop? In he comes. Brian McManus is currently just going through Le Mans right now, so he's got another corner left to go. He's on the back straight, so you can see Niall Quinn is going to take the lead of this race back. So in comes Yamamoto, just ready to get into his box here. Is the overcut going to work? How close are these guys going to be? So it's Colin Bays is going to come through. You can just see him in the back of shot there, about to pass him in the pit lane. Rounding the last corner, you will see now, is Brian McManus and Sergey Grabin. Out comes Davey Yamamoto. Is he going to have the overcut? He's going to be on the pit limit now. He's on the power. And is he going to be able to come out in front of Brian McManus here? It looks like he is going to be able to. That's a great job from him. He's on the outside. Comes out well in front. Makes the overcut work. Excellent job from him there. Brian McManus obviously not too happy with that one. Flashes his light, but the ball come out virtually in the same place with the left. But he makes the overcut work. Made sure he stayed out in front. Excellent job from Davey Yamamoto, on course for another podium here. So 30 minutes of this race gone, 15 minutes left to run. And absolutely brilliant stuff here. Now you can see Niall Maher going at it here with Martin Moore. He makes his way past on the back straight. So nice job from there, makes the move into P11. Now, let's see if we can maybe make a move into the points here versus Pat Masterson. These two guys had a nice little scrap in Spa, as Niall managed to hold on for points finish there as well. So the gap up front at the moment, let's just keep an eye on Niall Quinn in the lead of this race. Colin Bays P2. Davey Yamamoto now P3. And the gap between the top two is 10 seconds. And you can just see that, I believe, is the car of Tony Stack, I believe. So the gap between these guys is still virtually the same. But I don't think the gaps are going to move too much. These guys are so evenly matched on pace, I can't see how anybody's going to gain anything. Now, let's keep an eye. Niall Maher's run wide. That's Marty Moore making it through. This contact made. They're pushing each other off into the wall. Can he keep it out? Marty Moore goes into the wall there. Contact made between the two Ferraris. Marty just managed to keep it out of the wall. But it was an interesting little incident there. I think just ran out of room in that little section. It's so difficult to go side by side through that section. But Marty unfortunately caught up there and is now dropping back. He still has kept his position, I believe. Now, the field is very spread out as a result of the pit stops there now. You can see Brian McManus has got Sergey grabbing for company, and Sergey is lapping quicker than him. So let's see if the Porsche can pull a result and get into P4 here. Be a good result for him. Makes a mistake through there, and Sergey can capitalize on that now. And nice job from him there. So just keeping an eye on how things are progressing back here. That is a lapped car, I believe, going through Damien McMullen. I think that is in the Porsche. Keep an eye on this little battle between Sergey and Brian, because that is the closest battle we have on track at the moment. David has built a nice gap, a comfortable gap that he can use. But Brian is going to have his mirrors filled with that Porsche. So let's have a look. Let's go on board with Sergey if we can, actually, and just see what he can see. This is the Porsche VRA GTE car, beautifully lit up on the inside in blue. But this is what he's chasing. He is closer than he has been all race to the back of that car. Let's see if he can challenge the P4 here. This is coming through Sunset. You get an idea of Sunset Bend now. Closing up on the brakes, runs right out to the right-hand side. And runs it in as best he can. It's bumpy as well. You can see how much the car moves around on the circuit there. They're virtually identical now. You see the beautiful sound of that flat six bringing out through Sebring. Sergey does look to have the measure of Brian at the moment. And I think we are going to see him move at some point between these guys. Only 10 minutes left to run in this section. So there's not much time left for these guys to make any moves. So continuing on, Sergey continues to chase. Virtually identical lap times between the two of them. 57.4. 57.9 for Brian that time. Brian does look to be struggling a little bit. Sergey now can smell blood. I think he's going to be coming for him here. He's going to be thinking about where he can make this move. Sunset is possible, but it's the heavy braking zones that shows himself in the mirrors there as he really latches onto the back of the BMW here. As they run up towards right-hander here, runs out wide there, trying to get a cut-back line. You see a bit of a lock-up from Brian there, runs out wide. Sergey now can see that he's struggling. Brian manages to hold on to that for now. We're running on towards turn 16, Le Mans. Now see if he can get the slipstream. He needs the run out of Le Mans. He needs the run out of Le Mans to make anything happen here. Let's see if he can make this move. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to this time. He's in the slipstream. And you just see the BMW has the grunt there. Yamamoto has managed to clear these guys, as you can see. He's lapping quicker than them. You see Sergey really closing up through Sunset there. Takes a much tighter line. It's always interesting to see the different lines from these guys in through Sunset Bend. Some take a wider line to get a better exit. Some take a tighter line to just scare the guys in front. Brian McManus that time, 57.6 to a 57.4 from Sergey Graben. So you can see he is quicker. He just needs to find a way through is the next question. Where is he going to be able to do that? Brian runs out wide. Sergey now looking for any sort of opportunity to make his way through. Shows himself in the mirrors. Brian holding on nicely for now. Chasing each other down. bit sideways from Brian through that corner. Sergey will see that. See every opportunity that he can. He still chases him down here. Now, the question is, can Sergey potentially, if he manages to clear Brian McManus, can he get in front of him? Let's just go back, actually, to this battle. Pat Masters and Peter McCann going at it here. Peter McCann on the inside, Pat Masters on the outside line through Sunset Bend. That is very close indeed. Pat Masterson hanging it around the outside of Peter McCann. Nice move from Pat Masterson there. Gets ahead of the Porsche. He's into P9. Back to this battle once again. This is the battle for P4. And Sergey still looking for any kind of opportunity to make his way through. Keeping with him now, Sergey. A little luck with Brian. Makes a mistake there. Here comes Sergey now. Couldn't quite get the line through there, but he now knows that that's a place where Brian is very vulnerable. So coming down the back straight here, down towards Sunset Bend for the 19th time. What can Sergey do? Can he make his way past this? Look how much he closes up in the brakes. That runs very wide. He's off into Narnia there almost as he tries to get the car straight. Goes super late on the brakes. Brian gets sideways through that corner. Sergey brushes the wall. This is getting very tasty now, as these guys do everything to keep each other behind. Excellent stuff there. Very close between those guys. Let's see. Oh, Sergey's off into the grass. He's made a mistake through turn 1. Runs out into the grass. That's unfortunate for him. He's made the mistake. That's going to give Brian some breathing space. Now he'll be thanking himself for that one. So obviously the little wide moment he had through Sunset Bend has really kind of knocked his confidence a little bit. He's made the mistake through turn 1, ran out wide. And that's unfortunately dropped him back by about 3.5 seconds. That's cost him dearly. That might have cost him 4th place. Be interesting to see in due course. But not long to go now. Nearly 39 minutes gone in this race. Not quite the same amount of action this race, but still quite good. Pat Marston there in P10. P9, sorry. Peter McCann behind him. And then Niall Maher, excuse me, coming through Sunset Bend there. So Niall Quinn, there he is out front. I did mention him out front, and he's been there for the entire race. Colin Bays, he is about 13 seconds behind him. Still lapping around there. Colin, there he is on the back straight. You can just see in the background David Yamamoto in P3. Brian McManus 4 seconds behind him in P4. And Sergey Grabin in P5 here. So Sergey kind of still trying to do his best to try and catch back up, but the lap times were so similar. I don't think it's going to be possible. It's been a little bit unfortunate for him. I haven't quite mentioned this guy either. He's been kind of lapping, doing his own thing here. Petkavicius here, lapping quicker than Grabin and McManus. So can he get himself involved? He is catching Sergey at a rapid rate, especially after that mistake. So that's brought him right back into the fray here in the BMW. So let's see, can he close down? He's 2 seconds adrift of Sergey, and he is going quickly. You see, they've just kicked up from Brian McManus up ahead. 5 minutes left to go in this session, and I think your top three is pretty much set in stone here. However, P4 and 5 and 6 isn't quite set. As Petkavicius, I have to learn how to say that name. I apologise profusely for how I pronounce that name. Petkavicius, I think. Oh, that's a mistake from somebody that's lapped traffic getting into the way of Sergey Grabin here. That's going to play a factor in this race, as now Petkavicius, as soon as I said he had a chance, lapped car, get himself involved. I think that was one of the Porsches there. That's Damien McMullen getting involved. And then you can see, oh, mistake from Petkavicius. He spins, he gets too excited, gets on the throttle, spins it around. Damien McMullen sees it, gets out of the way. But I cursed him as well. Unfortunately, That's really unfortunate for him. Spins it, keeps it out of the wall. Conor Murphy picks up that position now into P6. And here comes Jordan Kelly now. Can he pick up the position as well? He will go through. And on the outside, he goes through to P7. Such an unfortunate incident right there. He could see his chance, but just got on the power too early and spun the car around. Kept it out of the wall, thankfully. That has ruined his chance of P5 potentially. But the battling has subsided pretty much across the board here. Everybody pretty spaced out across the track. See, Brian McManus quicker than Yamamoto that time. And he's done well to keep himself there. So not long to go at all now. The results looking pretty much set in stone right now. It's Niall Quinn out in the lead by nearly 15 seconds. Lapping consistently in the 56s. Behind him is Colin Bayes. These two guys have not moved from those positions all race long. Niall Quinn has led every single lap but one. And that was the lap that Davey Yamamoto led as he went in for his pit stop. Davey Yamamoto, as we mentioned him, he is P3. Brian McManus in P4. So none of these guys have really moved from where they were. Conor Murphy, he's up one from where he started. Jordan Kelly, he is down one from where he started. So those guys have swapped positions. Now, Petkavicius is still there. He did start 9th, so he's up one position. Pat Masterson, he's down one from where he started. Peter McCann is up one position. They haven't really moved all race, really. Niall Maher, he's the biggest mover of a lot of them. He's up 5 positions. So Martin Moore is down 2. Tony Stacking down 1 from where he started. Not long to go at all in this race now. So about 2 minutes left on the clock. Currently, Niall Quinn is on his way to victory once again. And he's just coming up at the back of the circuit now, coming up to Cunningham at the moment. So it's going to be, I think, just one more lap after this one. The clock will run out, but I think it's plus 1 lap. So we are going to see one more lap of race, and we'll see if the checker flag will come out for Niall Quinn, because he's on his way to victory at the moment. Unmatched all race. Sublime anyway. But I think he's going to have one more lap to do after this one. And then to Le Mans now. Colin Bayes 15 seconds back. And he's done a good job to stick where he is. So, almost to the end of this race now. There is Niall Quinn going through Le Mans down towards Sunset Bend. The clock is just going to tick over as he goes through Sunset Bend. Don't think we're going to quite see the checkered flag out just yet. We're going to have plus 1 lap here at Sebring. Niall Quinn has been totally unrivaled. The checkered flag is actually out, so Niall Quinn takes victory once again in VRA. He wins in Sebring. Fantastic, unrivaled all race. Colin Bayes, great effort, comes through the last corner, Sunset Bend. He is going to take P2 here. He's going to be very happy with that result, I'm sure. Davey Yamamoto fought hard for that P3, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that result. Brian McManus, in the end, was only about a second back, so he was lapping quicker than him. But Davey Yamamoto comes through to take another podium to add to his tally. Brian McManus will come across in P4. Sergey Grabin, with the mistake, comes across in P5. Conor Murphy coming to the last corner there in the Ferrari, going to take P6 in this race. Jordan Kelly picked up the position from Petkavicius behind them, who unfortunately had that unfortunate spin, could have had P5. But Jordan Kelly P7, Linus P8, Pat Masterson about to come towards Le Mans now. And just see actually We might have a battle for P11 that may go to the line between these two. That's Niall and Martin Moore going at it down the back here. I wonder, is this going to go to the line? So Damien Mullen crossed the line. He goes P14. And Martin Moore and Niall Maher very close together here. Can't see if there's going to be any moves. We'll just keep an eye on that as well. Now, Pat Masterson going to come through the last corner. He'll take P9. Peter McCann will take P10. One of these two guys, Niall Maher, I think, is going to hold on to that P11 spot versus Martin Moore. Comes through the last corner there. And he will finish. He's the highest mover of a lot of them. He'll come across to finish in P11. He's going to let Martin through. And he will take P11. Does Martin Moore. So good sportsmanship from Niall there. Comes across P12. And that is it for VRA. One retiring from this race was Ronan Haderman, which was unfortunate. But Niall Quinn, masterclass once again from lights to flag. He takes another victory. Colin Bayes behind him. Davey Yamamoto, Brian McManus. Great battle between those guys, and just them all lining up on the back straight there. Congratulating Niall Quinn, Davey Yamamoto, and all those guys. But Sergey Grabin, he had a chance at P4, but just didn't quite work out. Made the mistake, went off onto the grass, and that unfortunately ruined his chances. Yep, that's obviously what we thought after the incident. So just see Conor Murphy picked up P6, Jordan Kelly P7. Petkovicis, he will be ruining that spin. He almost had a chance at Sergey Gravin. At least he was quicker than Brian McManus as well. So what could have been? He could have taken P5 here, but unfortunately got too excited on the throttle, lost it, and that was it for his chances. Pat Masterson came through to P9, and Peter McCann managing P10. Martin Moore P11, Niall Maher P12, Tony Stacken P13, and last and finishes is Damien Mullen. One retirement from this race, that was Ronan Haderman, and obviously dropped out of contention after that huge incident at turn number 1 involving 7 cars. So, a great race. Overall, I think everybody can be happy. But that does it for another week of racing in the GTE series here. Sebring. So it has been great. I hope you all have enjoyed at home as well. But yeah, so Niall Quinn, absolutely dominant performance once again from him, and he takes another victory in the GTE series. I believe the only race he hasn't won this season, I think, is Road Atlanta. That's when Graham Carroll came in. I was involved in an unfortunate instance on lap 1 that time. But everybody seems to have made it their way back to pit lane. It was not a bad race. Action throughout, and plenty of times being exchanged across the board. But it is Niall Quinn from Colin Bayes, Dave Yamamoto, Brian McManus, Sergey Grabin. Pretty much the same top 5 as we started with. And it's been fantastic once again. And we hope you'll join us once again for another round of the VRA GTE series. And we'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.